Hi and welcome back for more musings with Eleni, me. Today I want to discuss the very famous saying that even Christian folks use, and that is, God helps those who help themselves. I want to discuss it and I want to see if it is biblically true. Surprise! No, it is not biblically true. It's actually not from the Bible, not the Old Testament, and not the New Testament. And I actually did research who said it. I think it was some president, maybe in a speech, that he mentioned God helps those who help themselves. I might be wrong, but it could be an American president. But that doesn't matter. What it matters is that it is not biblically true. So this is not something mentioned in the Bible. Now, theologically, why is it also actually incorrect for a Christian to say God helps those who help themselves, or to believe that? What this does is actually limits God and puts him in a box, and it actually implies that God is incapable of moving mountains and parting seas and creating miracles unless us humans do our part. It's kind of like a dad teaching his child to cycle. So the child has to cycle and the dad will be doing the pushing or the holding from the back. And that is not biblically true. And you will not find any example of that, not in the Old Testament and not in the New Testament. Because God was always the God of miracles, and God is the creator of all, and he is the Lord Almighty. And in Isaiah and in other places in the Bible too, in other chapters, God clearly says, I am the Lord. I speak the word that I speak, and it shall be realized. And in other places he says, I am God the Lord. I have spoken and I will do it. And there is no, but I need your help. But I need your assistance, but I need your cooperation. Actually, no, none of that is mentioned in the Bible. And if it's not mentioned in the Bible, it is not biblically true. Proof and confirmation of that. Example, the big Exodus. When the Jews were at the Red Sea, they were helpless and hopeless. Red Sea in front of them, Pharaoh and his soldiers behind them, they had no clue. They did not know what they were going to do. They were even getting frustrated with Moses. And then God told Moses what to do, and he parted the sea, and we know the rest of the story. The people did not do anything. Moses didn't even know what to do. God told him what to do. So, and from here we can hear that, no, God doesn't need your help. He doesn't need your pedaling. A lot of people think of God as like the co-pilot or the person in the passenger seat or the backseat driver, and that is not true. There is only one thing that we have to do as Christians, and maybe this could have very slim similarities to God helps those who help themselves, and that is surrender. So when we surrender to God's will and we say yes to his plan and we stop actually getting in his way, we stop actually choosing our own plans, when we actually sit down and quiet and actually wait quietly and in stillness so that we can hear his voice, we can hear his call, we can see that light when it goes green and we go ahead, that is the only thing that God requires of us. Complete surrender and to be standing, waiting, and watchful, which is exactly what the Jews were doing at the Red Sea. This is exactly what God told them to do. You're going to, be standing still, silent, and you're going to see how I am the Lord and how I'm going to change everything. And I'm going to save you from Pharaoh. And the other thing is, of course, free will. God's given us free will, and he always shows us his way and our way, or what options he wants to give us and what doors he wants to open for us. And we can also go out, go to him in prayer with our own demands and our own list of expectations and wants and desires. And ultimately, it is our choice to choose God's path or our path. Which door I open, it is up to me. But even then, God is still mighty and powerful. And let's not forget, as I said before in Isaiah, he says, I am the Lord. When I speak the word that I speak, I shall do it. Is that Isaiah or Ezekiel? Either Isaiah or Ezekiel. Or actually, it doesn't matter. I am pretty sure it's throughout the Bible. Found it. It's Ezekiel. Okay, it's throughout Ezekiel. And what does he say here? He says, "Then you shall know that I am the Lord. I have spoken and I will do it, declares the Lord." Aha. So, okay, because I do have humility, I'm not going to edit this, the fact that I didn't know it was Ezekiel and not Isaiah. So what this verse from Ezekiel tells us and teaches us that God is God, and when he speaks a word, it will happen regardless. And it's actually even regardless to our free will and regardless to whether we have surrendered or not. There are a lot of stories in the Bible where people's free will did not actually impact the will of God. Because God has his will and his permissible will. His will is what he speaks of our lives, what he plans, what he ordains, what he orchestrates, and it is those things are not dependent on our cooperation with God. It is regardless to our free will and regardless to whether we choose or surrender to God and his plans or not. And there are probably a lot of stories in the Bible that show that even when the people didn't surrender or listen to God or do as he said, his will still took place and prevailed. And then there is the permissible will, where God doesn't really control a situation as much, but he allows events to take place and he allows the free will of people to actually direct the situation. In those situations, he has chosen to give us the free will and he has left the situation kind of open for us to make choices using hopefully discernment and wisdom. And those kind of situations, sometimes we go, oh, why doesn't God control everything all the time? Well, how on earth are we going to grow in wisdom and in discernment if he just feeds us by the spoon all the time, like a baby? You know, at some stage, even babies need to learn to feed themselves and spill everywhere and make mistakes. So, yeah, it's not an easy topic to tackle, especially when we are talking about the evils of the world or when people do evil things to other people. It's hard to comprehend, but God is not a tyrant God and he's not a dictator. But when he speaks the word that he speaks, he shall do it and it will happen and it will realize, and then you will know that he is Lord. And therefore, my friends, I will leave you with this. God does not help those who help themselves, because God doesn't need you. He doesn't need your efforts. All God needs is your faith in him. And he doesn't even need that. He can still do whatever he wants to do regardless of that. But faith is good for you, not for God. You see, everything that we do is for our own good. It benefits us. Like, God doesn't benefit freely from us having faith in him or loving him or surrendering to him. He is God. All of this is for us, for our salvation, so that we are free from the evil one and we have as much of a good life as possible and we get as close to heaven as possible. That's why faith, love, hope are there, and all these other virtues are there that we should be striving for every day. Okay, I'm not going to keep this any longer. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe and like it and share it if you think that there's someone who would like to hear this and would benefit from hearing my nuggets of wisdom. Please flick it to them. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.